This is NHTV2, North Haven Government Television, a service of North Haven Community Television. The following program is brought to you through the support of the town of North Haven.
Good evening. Welcome to the July 2019 meeting of the Board of Police Commissioners. I'm Chairman Dave Mons. To my left is Vice Chairman Larry Lazaroff, and to my far left is Secretary Robin Wilson. To my right is Commissioner Mark Calafiore, and to my far right is Commissioner Holden Mead. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of the June 25th, 2019 meeting, both regular and executive session, please?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion for approval of the monthly reports for June 2019?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Secretary Wilson, any correspondence?
We have one letter. This is to Officer Lakaitis, and it's a thank you for his assistance with a computer hacking and identity theft situation. I appreciate your exemplary help and understanding, and I'm impressed by your expertise. And they went on just to thank the police department and the particular officer as well.
Great.
That's it.
Thank you. Chairman's report, just a couple things. As you can see, the chief is away this evening, so we're honored to have the deputy chief here to fill in. Welcome. Also, the department has, and I'm sure the deputy is going to fill us in on the details, but the department has largely repopulated the new building after the telecom cut in today. So we'll look forward to your update on that. Good news on the 2018-2019 budget. The finance department, I believe, closed the budget today. And thanks to the sound fiscal management of the chief and the deputy chief, the department came in 3.1% below the budget. So congratulations, that's a job well done. One last thing, I know at the last meeting we talked about in connection with the accident on Ridge Road and some of the traffic calming measures that we had voted to approve. Those measures were going to be put in after the milling and the paving, which was scheduled for July. It's my understanding that that has been pushed back a bit due to some issues with the contractor. I do know that the first selectman is personally attempting to expedite that process at this point. So once that area, as with other areas in town, are milled and paved, at least in that area, we'll be deploying the relining for traffic calming. That's all I have. So, Deputy, you have the floor.
You touched on the budget. We are under budget for fiscal year 18-19. Off to a good start, only 3 weeks into our new fiscal year at 3.3%, only one pay period behind us. On the building report, that's also under budget. On July 15th, the majority of the agency personnel moved into the building and populated it. Just today, the 23rd, our dispatch moved over, so we are fully functioning. We're open to the public. As far as an update with our town-wide radio project, that's also under budget. We are on track to switch over to the new system in mid-August. All the equipment is in place, it's tested, it's functional, and all the training has been completed already. We have a few notable arrests for this month. The first stemmed from March 11th, when a North Haven woman was tragically struck and killed on Ridge Road. The driver of the vehicle fled the scene, and members of the South Central Connecticut Traffic Squad conducted an investigation. They identified the driver. They worked with the Connecticut Forensic Lab, the FBI, the State's Attorney's Office, and he was arrested on the 5th. Earlier this morning, detectives in North Haven worked with the DEA. They culminated with an arrest after a 1-month-long investigation. A North Haven resident was arrested today and charged with 3 counts of sale of narcotics. He's currently on a $250,000 bond being held out. So it was an excellent investigation in collaboration with our federal partners. As far as the traffic update, Ridge Road, specifically the stretch between Dixwell and Skiff, as the chairman stated, it was scheduled to be milled and paved My last update was that should be complete the first week of August. The striping will be done. The increased fog lines will be put in to give drivers a visually narrowing effect. We'll then deploy our speed signs to gather some data and report any differences to you all next month. Under the traffic report, Kings Highway has also been a topic we've talked about. There's been some parking issues, specifically on Kings Highway between number 75 and 125. And that is from Quinnipiac University house. Students from Quinnipiac University typically rent that house, hold large parties, and park on both sides of the street. So I have some reports and pictures from all of you. I pass them.
So you were going to canvass some of the residents up there, I think, to get some input from them. Have you done that at this point?
We have,
Okay.
yes. So Sergeant D. Pascal, the sergeant in our traffic unit, met with some residents to discuss some potential solutions to the traffic problem. We also reached out to Quinnipiac University. Their public safety has been cooperative with us. They're going to put some guidelines in place for any students who rent in North Haven as far as parties and notifying them. Some of the residents had concerns that if we put no parking signs on both sides of the road, it would create a different problem, more of a problem for them if they have a gathering. So the consensus was, and what the police department would recommend for consideration, is no parking signs on Kings Highway on the west side of the road only between number 75 and 125. And you can see the last page are pictures, still pictures from our cruiser cameras, and that was during the last party that was held there in May of this year. All of these angles are northbound. Most of the cars on the left side of the picture or the west side of the roadway where we're proposing the no parking signs are people who attended the party and parked there. You'll see a couple vehicles on the east side of the roadway. Most of those are Ubers that were just there briefly to pick up people.
Which side is, which side?
So the left is the west side,
Okay.
and that's where we're proposing.
And that's where
signs.
you're proposing to deploy the signs.
Yes.
So do the residents park there as well normally, or is it basically an open road most of the time?
Typically, there's no parking there. If residents have concerns that if they do have a gathering from time to time, they will use the east side of the road.
So the folks that you spoke to up there, they were in favor of this particular solution?
Yes, just
Okay.
one side parking.
One side parking?
It would seem to make sense to me.
Yeah. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the deployment of signs on the one side of Kings Highway.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? And you said it'd be on the west side, correct?
On the west side,
Okay.
yes.
So how soon would it take to that to be effective as far as signage and everything
We have
else?
to check the inventory of what we have for signs. If we have the proper inventory, we can do that this week.
All in favor?
Aye.
Question on the new building. Are our lockups being used as well now? Are we open for that or not yet?
Not yet. We have a few modifications that we have to make.
Mhm.
We anticipate by August 1st, we'll
Gotcha.
house prisoners.
Okay, so they're still being used in Hampton?
Yes. So aside from executive session, I just have one more request. It's for consideration for Benary Scholarship for one graduate level course completed at UNH by Sergeant Wozniak.
I'll make that motion.
Sergeant who?
Wozniak?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I just had one follow-up from last week, which was in the minutes, where Commissioner Calafori asked the chief to have somebody check on the graffiti on the utility box at the corner of Middletown Avenue and Spring. Do you know if anyone followed up on that?
The chief said by the time he checked, it was already covered.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
It's covered with white guck, but it's
Thank you.
covered. Yeah.
So that was done by town or that was done by a resident?
It was done like the day after by somebody.
It's gone, so I'm happy.
Good.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have that on my list.
Nothing else for regular session?
That's all I have.
Any commissioners have anything for regular session?
No.
No.
I'm good.
So may I have a motion to adjourn, to move to executive session to discuss personnel matters?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
So we're back in regular session. May I have a motion to adjourn, please?
So moved.
So moved.
Second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned.
All right.
Forgot.
The preceding program is brought to you in part through a grant from the town of North Haven. Watch town meetings or other videos on demand at nhtv.com.